Okay, so I have a problem with my comfort access. All the doors work except for this front door. Try and open it, press it, it doesn't work. Even if I go to the back door, yeah, it works. Locks it, unlock, lock. Okay, you got to take this inner part of the door, which means you got to loosen that. Well, you got to clip that off, unclip that. Got to pull this one out. Excuse me, you got to pull this out. No, that wasn't me. And you've got to pull that out. And then there's a little screw hidden here at the back, underneath there. I think this is T25, T25, and these are not the same. This one has a big head, there's a smaller head, and I think this is a Torx 30 and a 30. Right, this is the door handle after I've taken it off. As you can see, there's a screw there, and there's one over there. You've got to release those screws. Now, immediately when I was dismantling the door, I saw the fault of why this comfort access has not been working, and you can see that these wires have broken off. So what I'm going to do now is, if I open this, if you actually want to just see what's inside, this is just almost like a foil. This is what's inside. That's what it looks like. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to join these wires, put some heat shrink, solder it, and then go and test it and see if that is in fact what is stopping the comfort access from working. Okay, they're a little bit corroded, oxidized, so what I do is I just file them a little bit so that the solder will actually take better. The spacing available here for the wires is actually insufficient. So what I have done is I've filed it. I've actually filed it. I've been filing this for a while now. Let's maybe move that more like that. There we go. I've been actually filing this to make some more space. Right. So now I just need to solder these. And I've put the heat shrink already on here, as you can see. Now I'm going to solder them. Right. You could use a heat gun, but now I'll just close it with I'll just tighten it with the heat from the match. Right, now I have, you can see the heat shrink. I've rejoined those as thin as possible to fit in this very small space. And then I've just put some tape here. There was some cuts on these wires, so I've just taped it up. It will now fit in this recess. And now we bring the other half of the door handle, and let's see if it's going to fit snugly. Yes, look at that. That's good. And this side, yes, that's perfect. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the screws back, 1 and 2, and then I'm going to reassemble this door handle. Now, you've got to screw these screws back in. They're very small screws, and it's a Torx 6 and hand Hand tart is fine. Yeah, and I need to cut my nails. I got them a bit long there. Right, and that's tight enough. Finished. Okay, so now what you got to do is you got to rebuild the door handle, the spring, these pins, and this guy. So right now we gotta put this thing back together. Okay, so this guy's got to go through this dust shield, the water grommet. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there's the handle. Now I'll just refit this grommet here. Okay, that one's actually fine. What I want to show you is how the comfort access knows whether you're pressing or pulling. There is a sensor here. Not sure if it's a magnet of some sort, but there is something here, and it obviously aligns with the ferrite or whatever it is in here, and there's obviously some sort of MMF which knows there was a movement, something like that. Look, anyway, I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so now we're going to put this back together. Okay, so we've got to line this. There's two pinholes there which align with these two pinholes on this side, and it kind of wedges this door handle arm in, and then on this side you can see this is going to go on top of that, this is going to align to that. You can see there's already let me move this a bit down. Yeah, the pin has to get in there, and then this is a screw system. No. This will require quite a lot of fidgeting around in order to get this in. The key is to get this side in first. I couldn't actually get this pin out when I dismantled it, so I just wedged it open with the screwdriver. All I did is I lifted it open with the screwdriver, and the pin stayed there. So now I know that that pin lines up with that, because I never actually took it out. So I'm just going to kind of manually put it back in there. See, it's not that tight actually. But this side now, you want to thread these wires through here, and then this thing's got to wedge in here. Don't want to press too hard. A certain amount of force is fine, but then when you press too hard, then you know. Okay, actually I think that's actually enough, because if I look closely, it actually looks like it's seated. That is how it is. Yeah, it's seated. Right, so that's it. Actually not difficult at all. Now, as I said, this is a YouTube video on backwards, so you've got to, if you're going to do this, you're going to have to reverse these steps. Oops. So these pins have to find their way in here. Okay. The other one. Can see. So the lining there, there's a recess for it. It's going to meet with that hole there. Not that. The first thing is to plug this back in. Okay, it's plugged in, and then the one for the light. Okay. Oh yes, this guy here has got to be clipped in here. There's a space for it. It's got to clip in like that. But on mine it's actually broken, so I'm gonna now get some glue and glue this one down. Alright, so I'm gonna glue it on. I'm gonna use this panel beaters tape and just fasten it like this. Also I'm gonna cut it quickly, put it underneath here so that it doesn't rattle. There's nothing worse than something in the door rattling. Right. Okay. Now I'm going to put a little bit of glue. I don't anticipate opening this again. Right. There's this. And to lock it in place, you just lock it like that. You've got to fasten it, you've got to pull it until it actually clicks. You'll hear it click now. Almost. One more click. Yeah, that's it. Clicked in place. It's got to click in place. The handle cannot come loose anymore. See, handle is now fastened and it's flush here. Okay, first thing, this guy. This guy's got to go there. There we go. Okay. Okay, so I'm just plugging everything back in. Now there is something to look out for. There is I can actually show you. This will save you a bit of time. If you look at that, you see how this has shifted down. Just squash it again, because once it's on, the insulation is on, it's a bit of a bitch to try and align this thing. So what I do is I just kind of cut it a bit. Well, not cut it, I just kind of squash it with my pliers, but almost put it through where the blade section is, just to tighten it there. Tighten it there. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, even a bit more. Perfect. See, make sure these are all aligned. Yeah, otherwise once this is on, you're gonna have to take it off to realign those things. Okay, plug it in. Sorry if my head's in the way. Okay, now what you gotta do is you gotta fasten each one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so what's happening here is it's not aligned, so it is not fastening nicely. Eight, 9, 10. I'm going to go down to that bottom problematic one again. This was my problematic one. To just see if there's not something in the way there. No, it's fine. You can actually hear the rubber sealing. It's like perfect. Perfect. Just needed to be realigned. Okay, now we join all these cables. You don't have to worry about which way they go. You can only fit one way. See, it won't fit in there. This thing has to be down, clip, over. Okay, it's tweeter. Okay, so I'm missing one, and that is for the door panel itself. This is the airbag. You should do this with the car with the battery off. Okay, I'm just getting this tape ready for this guy here. And the reason why is you don't want to hear this when you're driving over bumps. You think somebody's knocking at the door. So I'm just taping it on here. As you can see there. Taped. Now I'm checking to make sure that nothing is loose or is going to knock around. Here's one. So I'm just going to attach it to these two guys together. There we go, perfect. Okay, everything is in here. Okay, time to put the door. Okay, you've got an airbag here. There's a pin here, and this thing is going to go in there. This guy here has to be wired onto this. Yeah. So I'm going to thread him through there. I'm going to join him onto here. I don't know if you can see this, but don't put unnecessary force on this thing. You do not want to snap this. It's a mission. Okay. And I've just got this guy here, and then this door can go on. Oh, very important. Check that all of these are still in place. Otherwise, when you whack it onto the door, if this guy is not aligned properly, you'll break it. Also check that they're all stuck on. You see there's glue here and stuff. check that they're all still, yeah, okay, looking good. Now it's time to put this on. Okay, right, now I'm just going to put this in here. Now, very important, when you put this car, make sure it goes in the hole and it does not come through the hole. If it goes all the way, you can get stuck when you want to put him back in. Right, now, what you got to do is you got to align this. And on this side, this is a little screw like this, and it aligns. There's a hole here. And I'm just going to screw it in there just to get the alignment right. There we go. Right. And now, according to me, now that it's all set up, here are the keys, and I put them in my hand, and let's see if the comfort access works. There we go. And can we lock the car? There we go. Unlock and lock. All done. Right, once you've put everything back together, you will get that fault if you didn't disconnect your battery, and it will come up on your dash. There we go. So now the last step is to clear that error.